Seed Studios very kindly sent me through these little shower projects. Well, one of them you can't see, but it's inside here. The first one was the ESP32C3, which I put an emulator on to run a 6502 and had a look at some code from the 1970s and 80s via an emulator. And that worked pretty well, and I'll link that video up. This one was a good project too. I really enjoyed this. So this does 2 or 3 things really. I mean, the first thing is that it checks to see if the Wi-Fi is running or not. If it's not, it tells me via this bar graph. It also tells me whether it's a normal bin week or a recycling bin week, and I've put it all in a bin because that's hilarious, and that works really well, and I'll link that one up as well. What to do with the last one, the RP2040? Well, I think we should use it to play a game of cricket.
He's really gone for that one. There's a chance in the outfield. Oh, and what a very good catch.
The last of these which I'll look at is the RP2040 version. And I wrote some code in Python back in 2013, I think, and haven't really touched it since. But I do know that with some of these modern microcontrollers, you can put on either Circuit Python, or you can use something like Micropython and then run a Python script from there. And the code that I wrote way back when does some simulating for a cricket game. It is the Ashes at the moment. There's a lot of cricket hysteria around Commonwealth nations. So if you know an Indian friend, a Pakistani friend, a New Zealand friend, a South African friend, link them in, and they'll really enjoy this. I certainly enjoyed making the game way back when and then modifying it for the RP2040. Let's go upstairs and plug it in, see how we can get Micropython on there, and see if we can get the game going.
Our first job is to get Micropython onto the device itself. So I'm going to use Thonny for that. There's lots of different ways of doing it. But under Thonny, it's easiest. You just go to Options and Interpreter. You plug the device in with the boot button down and then release it. And it should be fine to then just install. It's picked it out already as the RPI RP2. And then we just want to pick the Raspberry Pi Pico version and install. And it'll do it all automatically. It does give you instructions up here as to what to do, but it's all very straightforward. And looks like we are done. Okay, so then we just go to Close and OK. Alright, so we've restarted now, and we see that we are running on the Raspberry Pi RP2040. It's not, it's on the shower, but that's fine. And then we just go to File and Save As, and it'll say, do you want to save it to the computer? And this is our cricket code, or do you want to save it to the Raspberry Pi? And we go Raspberry Pi, and it's already there. Astounding, because I was testing this before. So I'll just overwrite that. This is actually a new version. Alright, so the next step is to grab a terminal. I'm just going to plug the device back in again. And what I want to do is to use PuTTY to access the serial device. So let's do that. And then it should, if I just press enter, there we go. So if I go Control D, it'll do a reboot, and this tells us that we are running Micropython. Now the code's already there, so all we need to do is to import it, and it's now running on the little shower RP2040, which is pretty cool. Let's choose Australia to bat, and then England to bowl. We'll go 1 game, and we'll play 20 overs per game. We'll have 4 overs per bowler, and we'll go with, let's say, 7 seconds between balls. Should give me enough time to commentate what's going on. So if you're not interested in cricket, now's the time to look away, because I'm just going to go through and see what this game's going to bring out. So we have Labuschagne, Murphy, Head, Smith, Renshaw, Boland is promoted up the order, Nathan Lyon as well. Pat Cummins, yeah, so I mean that's not a bad team, I guess. So let's go now and start the first over, and it should give us a bowler. So we've got Harry Brook coming in to bowl the first over, unusual choice, and the first ball is to Todd Murphy, and he scored 1, which rotates a strike. So now Labuschagne is up and facing the second ball of Harry Brook, and he scored a 3, also turning the strike over, so good start for the Australians. And now we have Harry Brook bowling his third ball to Todd Murphy, and looks like there's been an appeal. There is an appeal for court, and he is out. So that is a good breakthrough by the English. And Travis Head comes in. Travis is in fine form at the moment, and he scored a 4 off the first ball. That's picked up by Crawley at the boundary. And the second ball also a 4. He is absolutely caning them out there. And we have the last ball of the over, which is also 4. That's 3 4s in a row by Travis Head. Labuschagne is now facing Josh Tongue and scores a 1, turning it straight back over to Travis, who is 12 off. So this commentary runs for about 40 minutes, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But if you are not a cricket lover, it just drags forever. And so it's probably a good idea for me at this stage to speed up the commentary or the play. And just wanted to say over the top of this that it's been a real pleasure to do these 3 videos in a row. The XIAO series, starting off with the ESP32C3, really took a deep dive on the programming of the 6502. And I really recommend you checking out Ben Eater's videos if you wanted to dive in there with me. It's very good, and the resources online, considering this chip's been around since 1976, is pretty good. So yeah, that was real fun. The bin project with the ESP32S3 was also very good. Really enjoyed that, and got a very useful product out of it as well. And finally, this one here, it's just been fun to resurrect this code from about 10 years ago now, and running it on the XIAO RP2040 shows the flexibility of this platform. And to be running Micropython or CircuitPython or whatever you choose on these little devices, which are so capable, is really good. So there's a lot of exploration of that to do. Thank you so much to Seed Studios for putting their faith in me and sending these things down to Tasmania. And I'll just let you go for the last couple of minutes of commentary. Sadly for England, this game didn't turn out as expected. Australia got off to a good start and just kept rolling along really. And England also got off to a good start, but just fell away towards the end. So here's the last minute or so of commentary. I consider that to be the circuit working for this week, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. There's 2 wickets in the last 2 balls, and England now in all sorts of trouble on 9 for 192. Scott Boland to bowl his third over. It's over number 18. Moeen Ali, realising that there's nothing to lose now, has scored a 6. And so the run rate required is now almost 21. Then he scored a 2 off Scott Boland's second ball. Third ball is bowled, and it's a 1, turning over the strike to Zach Crawley on 0. What can Scott Boland do here? And Zach Crawley, that is a beautiful shot for a 6 as well. So 2 6s scored in this over. I fear it's too late. Second last ball of the over, Zach Crawley. And he could be in some trouble here. There's an appeal, and he is out. He is bowled, and so that's the end of the innings for England. And it's a bit dismal there. Just going down, you can see a very good start from Ollie Robinson and Ben Stokes. 54 off 21 for Ollie Robinson before LBW to Lyon. Ben Stokes 57 off 30 before LBW to Harris. Then we had Dan Lawrence caught and bowled Harris. Almost immediately, Johnny Bairstow caught and bowled Warner. In the following over, Anderson, that didn't contribute much to the score. Josh Tongue and Joe Root put up a little bit of a fight, but it all just fell away towards the end. Moeen Ali not out on 20. Bowling figures, Scott Boland 1 for 44. Nathan Lyon again doing the, dare I say it, the lion's share at 5 for 38, so he picks up another 5 for Dave Warner, a surprise pick there for a bowler. Gets 1 for 17 off his 2 overs. Marcus Harris 2 for 49, Pat Cummins 1 for 42, and Josh Hazlewood none for 18. And that is the game for today. That's a good game of cricket, and we can see that Australia got to 255, and in the end just too much for the English team, who just limped through to 208. And that is Micropython, and that is the XIAO RP2040.